Families start exploring senior living options in Santa Barbara, one of the first questions that comes up is this: what's the difference between independent and assisted living? Most people assume that they are similar, but in reality, they provide very different levels of support, lifestyle, and care. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the key differences so you can better understand which option might be a fit. Hi, I'm Melissa Tierney. I'm a realtor here in Santa Barbara at Keller Williams. And I'm also a certified Keller Williams real estate planner and senior transition specialist here in Santa Barbara. I got my start in real estate here in Santa Barbara by shepherding my own grandmother in her downsizing and retirement journey. And I've been working with families on that same concept ever since. So it's a joy, and I continue to do it with the utmost gratitude. Um, I work with seniors and their families essentially to help navigate those housing transitions later in life, including downsizing, retirement communities, and selling long-held homes that have been in the family. So in the previous video, we talked about some of the best retirement communities or most well-known communities in Santa Barbara and how they differ. So if you haven't seen that, I recommend watching it because it gives a great overview of just some of the local communities available here. And I do, by the way, have a list that I maintain of different communities here that I'm happy to email you. Just go to my website and download it from there. Going to an independent living community, for example, let's start there. Independent living is designed for seniors who are still very active and capable of managing their daily lives, but want the convenience of a community environment. And what these communities typically offer are going to be private apartments or residences, nutrition that's planned and prepared and cleaned up for you, housekeeping services, social events, activities, and transportation. The goal is to eliminate many of the responsibilities that come with maintaining a home. So for many Santa Barbara seniors, independent living provides the opportunity to stay socially engaged while still simplifying the daily life. Residents often choose independent living because they want less home maintenance and more community interaction. So in assisted living, that they provide an additional level of support. And these communities are designed for seniors who may need help with certain ADLs, commonly known as activities of daily living. And some examples of this include assistance with medication management, assistance with bathing or dressing, different types of mobility support, meal support, daily supervision. Residents still maintain their independence, don't get me wrong, but staff support is available to provide help in specific instances when needed. And so for many families, the assisted living for them offers peace of mind because loved ones have access to care and support in a safe and monitored environment. Certainly beats paying tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket per month for 24-hour care at home. Now, in terms of the lifestyle differences between assisted and independent living is truly the lifestyle structure. And what I mean by that is independent living communities tend to feel more like active retirement communities. It's going to be more of a social model. Residents may spend a lot more time, I should say, attending events, socializing with neighbors, exercising, or even exploring the Santa Barbara area. Whereas assisted living environments tend to provide more structure and supervision. The goal is to support residents who need help managing certain aspects of daily life while still maintaining dignity and independence. And I have loads of examples of how that has been achieved in the right settings. But when families usually begin exploring assisted living, it's usually because they've already noticed certain changes. And some of these changes may include, for example, increased difficulty managing medications or certain mobility challenges or safety concerns about living alone, changes in memory, and some level of difficulty in maintaining the home. And often adult children begin researching these options before their parents are ready to move. And so understanding the differences early can help families to prepare and have more thoughtful conversations. So for many Santa Barbara homeowners, transitioning to an independent or assisted living community, it also raises another important question, and that is, what happens to the family home? I get a lot of people who come to me and say, we think retirement living or a retirement community is in our near future. Do we need to sell the home in order to prepare to finance that? And I'm going to say, hold on, there's a lot of things that we need to think about before we even move in that direction. And one of those things is that many seniors have lived in their homes for decades, and they've built up such significant equity over time. And when someone moves into a senior living community, families often begin evaluating, do we sell it or rent it, or what do we do? And so I'm going to talk about those. It's such a loaded topic that I'm going to be talking more about that in future videos, because oftentimes real estate decisions become part of the housing transitions. And bottom line, you do not want to be making this decision during or after a crisis. So just to summarize this video before we move on to the next, and by the way, if you have found this in any way, shape, or form meaningful, helpful, do me a solid, put a thumbs up below in the chat. I'd really appreciate it. But if you or somebody you know are seeking senior living options in Santa Barbara, understanding the differences between independent and assisted living is one of the first steps that we need to take. So in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the cost of senior living in Santa Barbara, including the differences between the buy-in communities and the rental communities. So again, if you found this video helpful, let me know what resonated for you. Leave a comment in the chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.